Thank you very much, everybody. This is my talk. From the pamphlet, you cannot find Chaoyang, only write down University of Technology, Taiwan. So please aid Chaoyang University of Technology. This is my today's talk. I'm not going to read all of this because just tell you that how important of the medicinal herb to the human being. And unfortunately, due to the over-exploitation and ecological destruction of the natural habitat and also the market demand, so most of the important medicinal herb becoming endangered species. So I would like to give you some example how we use plant tissue culture from the first step to bring it becoming a functional foods. So today I'd like to give you 3 examples. First one is Anoectacillus formosana. This is the research I make cooperation with China Medical University. The China Medical University located in Taiwan, not in China. All right, very confused. Sometimes Taiwan, sometimes China. And this is tell you that how important of the Anoectacillus formosana. Why we pick up this? Because it is the king of the medicinal herb in Taiwan. All right. So first, we want to make it as a target to solve the problem. So from the beginning, you have to make sure it is the right plant. Okay, this is the right plant. And in Taiwan, more than 20 different species of the, we call that is pearl orchid, beautiful pearl, jewel orchid, okay? And pearl orchid, 27 different species. For example, this one is also pearl orchid, this one also pearl orchid. Looks quite the same. When it is flowering, it is easy to be distinguished. This one is the originality of the plant, pearl orchid, and this one is Cautionensis, and this one comes from Vietnam, and so far. So more than 20 different species you have to distinguish. From the historical study, you also can find this is the real plant from the stem, longitudinal section, and from the root, cross-section, and from the flower stalk, cross-section. Whenever you have those data, you can make sure the plant you select are the right one. So this is plant, the right plant we can use. They are not as a material for culture for mass propagation. Has been cultured in liquid medium containing 240 and BA, 1 month, and subculture into second medium for another 1 month, becoming like that. And 2 months later, the plants are ready for transfer into the soil, and almost 100% survival rate are recorded. So we are able to transfer this technology to the farmer. In the last 30 years, more than 2,000 farmers accept their plant tissue culture training course in my lab, and pearl orchid becoming a very popular dedicated agriculture. Too many production, too many material. Who is going to consume? Of course, human being. And you got to solve the problem. What is the major compound inside pearl orchid? We found kinsinoside. Here show you the kinsinoside. This is the structure of kinsinosides, all right? So that you can quality control. And then is the kinsinoside real effect to the human being liver is really effective. So you got to find the efficacy. This is the picture show you that liver after carbon tetrachloride damage. And then when you using Anoectacillus formosana, that is the pearl orchid, you can find the liver becoming like control. And also you got to know the mechanism of the kinsinoside. And we found that kinsinoside can stop the NF-kappa B, which produce endotoxin, and then cause the inflammation of the bone and inflammation of the macrophage cell and also liver cell. So this is the reason why pearl orchid can prevent the inflammation from those organs. And besides hepatoprotection, pearl orchid also have the effect on anti-amnestic effect and also probiotic effect, good for bone health and immunomodulation and so forth. Is it safe? Of course, you have to pass the safety test. For example, gene toxicity test and 1 month and 3 months oral toxicity test in the mouse, and then fetus test. After you prove it is not toxic to the human being, then you cannot do this research by yourself. The government organization will do this for you. Then you got the permit from them. You got approved. Those are the documents from 1 month, from 3 months. And then you can apply for the functional foods in the Ministry of Health. So finally, we got the first functional foods, number 166 for the herbal medicine. That is the first one from herbal medicine, got the functional food certificate from Ministry of Health. And second one, 189, again, the pearl orchid. All of them are produced by me. So I was called the father of the pearl orchid in Taiwan. This is the certificate we got the Ministry of Health. And second example I'd like to tell you is Dendrobium hussenensis. What is the Dendrobium hussenensis? Dendrobium hussenensis is also a remedy for the various disease because of its biological activity in hearing cataract. If you are in my age, like Dr. Reiter's age, do you have eyes problem? Oh, you are very good. I think 50% of the old men have eyes problem. After, you take melatonin. Yeah, I'm going to do that too. Okay, anyway, this is a very important medicinal herb good for the human being eyes, all right? And this is the picture I took from drugstore, Chinese drugstore in Taipei City. Do you know how expensive of this one? Could you turn the light off? Hello? Here? Let's make it more clear. Do you know how expensive of this one? Yeah, good. No, US dollar. 10,000 US, 10,000 US per kilogram. 10,000 US dollars per kilogram. No. This is in New Taiwan dollars and different weight. Okay, different weight. But if you convert into US dollars, 1 kilogram will cost you 10,000 US dollars. Very, very expensive. And it is good for the human being retina pigment epithelium, the red color layer. This is the pigment, retina pigment epithelium, the red color. All right? What is the function of the RPE? Major function, you have so many functions, but this one is the major function. Macrophage-like cell. That means RPE can clean the garbage from your eyes. All right? And when you go back to look at what is the Densenol hosinaceae, and we went to mainland China to find out this is the real plant. How big of the plant? Can you see? Less than 10 centimeter and very tiny, very, very small. So in 1999, do you know how much they produce in a year in mainland China? Only 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram. Very, very less. I tried to buy it. They say, no way. This is for the government officials only, not for you, all right? So we are able to select one from the mountain area. For 10 people, go to the mountain area, we pick up this one and bring it back to my lab using tissue culture for 10 days, you can see the little buds start produced from the bud culture. 2 months later, we are able to produce 50 plants. Another 2 months, becoming 2,000. Another 2 months, half years later, we have 10,000 plants already. So when it grows to be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years later, we are able to do extraction from them. So we are able to find the major component D2H2 from them. Another question is, it is too small. Even you can propagate them, still very expensive, still the plants still very small. And also, it was leased in the CITES, in the endangered species in the category second. So it is not easy to commercialize. And then we are able to cross the Densono Husinaceae with our native Dendrobin toscens, which is native Dendrobin in Taiwan. So this one is that long and very big, the stem about like my finger. So 100 times, then the ear is 100 times than the Husinaceae. So we are able to cross to produce F1. After seed germination, we select 100 different plants and propagate, and then detect their D2H2 component. We found out this one contain very high D2H2, and also the plant about 30 to 50 times higher than the original one. So we got the right for this plant in USA, in Japan, and then already commercialized in the market. And this is, they predict the rough material this year already have about how much? 30 million US dollars. Only the rough material, not for the drugs, all right? Rough material. And this is what can you find in the market. In the internet, you can purchase this one. And how much it costs? 1 kilogram, 1,000 US dollars. So about 1/10 compared to the original one. This is another example show you very, very successful to bring the medicinal herb to the market, all right? And the third example is Salvia meteoriza. Salvia, we call that is Dansen in Chinese. Dansen, okay, Dansen, or also original from China. And Dansen is a traditional Chinese medicine used for anti-inflammation, anti-oxidation, and better blood circulation. And the compound inside there compound lipophilic and hydrophilic component. And for those hydrophilic component contain savianolic A and B, and the lipophilic component are cryptotensionol, tensionol 1, and tensionol 2A. And hydrophilic component, for example, savianolic acid can reduce erythrocyte aggregation, blood viscosity, and blood viscoelasticity, thus increase oxygen carrying capability of the whole blood. I'm old, I'm 70 years old. And Dr. Reiter, are you 78? 79. We have the same problem. You don't have problem. You don't have problem. You are very strong. I have the problem. Okay, I feel sleepy all the time because the blood circulation is not good. This is why we need to take some of the savianolic acid. And for those lipophilic components include cryptotensionol, tensionol 1, and tensionol 2A. And we found that those lipophilic components can protect cells from invasion of hepatitis C virus. And hepatitis B becoming not so important in Taiwan now because we have vaccine, all right? But hepatitis C, about 1% of the human being contain hepatitis C. But in Middle East, maybe more serious. When I give a talk in Turkey, in Egypt, they say that about 8 to 10% of the people invaded by hepatitis C. And also, those lipophilic components reduce the cell from infection of hepatitis C virus and also reduce the replication of hepatitis C virus in cell. These are also published in some international journal already. And next, like a few slides, like I'd like to show you the cooperation research between the president of National Taiwan University in my lab, and we are able to find out that the anti-cancer effect of crude extract from 33 herbs. This is 33 herbs. Don't pay attention on this, but this is the Denson. You will see for the cancer cell, they can totally inhibit by the Denson. The number one anti-cancer effect of the medicinal herb. Then we have to find out why Denson has anti-cancer ability. In cancer cell area, you are able to find two major phenomena. One is contain a lot of macrophage cells, and second one, they produce a lot of newborn vessel and newborn blood vessel. All right, this is two phenomena. So you can find that tensional one significantly inhibits the moving ability of the human lung adenocarcinoma cell line, and also significantly reduce the tumorigenesis and metastasis in those cell lines. And tensional one significantly inhibit the migration activity in macrophage condition, meaning stimulate cancer cell line, and also significantly inhibit the formation of the new blood vessel from cancer cell. So very effective. This is the anti-cancer effect of tensional one. The red color means very significant. And then, as I told you that this is the original callus induced from leaf of the Denson leaf. And after some chemical treatment, you can find the callus becoming red. That means those tensional compounds start accumulate. So this is the picture show you the effect of gelatin riboside. We published this paper about 15 years ago. You can see from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 days becoming totally red color. That means they accumulate a lot of tensional. And we are able to construct a plasmid. This is the plasmid contain 4 enhancer, equal R1. 4 enhancer are able to transfer into tension cell. And totally more than 1,000 cell lines are able to produce. We call that the activation taken mutants cell line. And some of them, even without gelatin riboside treatment, they show in red color. And some of the cell lines show that contain a lot of phytotensional. For example, this one compared to the original one about 100 times higher than the original one. So each cell, you can apply patent and you can transfer into private sector. So this is the transition line from activation taken, and then we are able to use tissue culture to then regenerate plant. So this is the phenotypic appearance of the plant, and we can sell the plant. And we also use hair culture to produce tensional substance. After 2 months in culture, the tensional component are higher than the material collect from the wire feed, 6 times higher than, and the wire material need to be grown for 2 to 3 years. And tension original in China is in temperate zone, all right? Cannot be heat tolerance. We are able to transfer those heat shock protein inside the tension and produce a lot of transgenic line. They are heat tolerance. And this is technology transfer writing in Chinese. Sorry about that. In the last 3 years, we got 7 technology transfer into private sector, and totally technology transfer into the private sector is 20, including not only this one, including another medicinal herb. And this is the color change, and then we are able to RNA preparation from the callus, different stage, and then microarray after hybridization, and then analysis after clustering. So this one H showing quite similar with the profile of the tensional production. So far we are able to find out 5 genes from them, which is hopefully connect with the tensional production. And the early of this year, we are able to finish our genome analysis, sequence analysis already. Hopefully, combine this, we are able to produce a very good paper in the end of this year, hopefully. This is the conclusion, and also give you another method, ATM, activation taking method, also applied into Enterodia cinnamomea. This is an important fungus in Taiwan, also commercialized in the whole world, all right? And the last 3 example is bitter gourd. Bitter gourd, we found it is very good for the human being. 3 minutes. Very good for the human being metabolic syndrome disease, all right? And bitter gourd, wild bitter gourd are very useful, but wild bitter gourd fruits are very small, and this is commercial varieties. And after closing F1, unfortunately, the seeds are very, very few. Each fruit only contains 2 or 3 seeds. So tissue culture, again, are able to propagate them into a large number. So this has been published for 2 papers into SCI. And the last 2 example is Salsoria. We call it Tianshan, okay, in the nature habitat, 4,000 meters above sea level. Takes 6 years to produce them. From tissue culture, 2 months in tissue culture test tube, another 2 months in the ports. We found out the major components, syringes, are 3 times higher than the products have grown for 6 years. And the last example is fritaris. And you see, this is the plant tissue culture from fritaris, bulb scale culture. You can see many bulb scale, secondary bulb scale produced, and then transfer into solid medium for 2 months. 6 months later, how big of the, you see 1 centimeter, which is diameter about 2 centimeters. In China, in Sichuan province, in Tiba, 4,000 meters above sea level, they take 5 to 6 years. From tissue culture, half years. And also the year compared to the wild material collected is much bigger than them. And also the medicinal compound are much higher than the wild production. All right, that will be end of my talk. So the conclusion is availability of the tissue culture protocol is the first step toward the development of the genetic transformation, and also good for bringing the medicinal herb from lab into the market. Thank you very much for your attention.